And I strongly believe that some of the recordings of the panels should actually be reviewed and strategic alliance should be built from here so that we can come next year and see the impact that we've created across the continent.
So thank you, Adeshina, for joining us here today at the Africa Fintech Summit. We're really excited to have you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're here?
Yeah, so I'm Adeshina Adewunmi. I'm actually the CEO and founder at Lenda. And at Lenda, we're actually building a digital bank for African SMEs, helping them to be able to enjoy the true definition of financial inclusion. And by that definition, I mean helping them to be able to get timely access to capital, credit, to be able to grow and sustain their business. But not stopping at that, helping them and working with the financial service providers to be able to give them access to insurance, savings, and various other financial inclusion that can help and grow their business to avoid missed opportunities.
Thank you. And can you talk a little bit about the landscape within the African continent, within your fields, for anyone who wants to tap into something similar to you?
Yeah, so this market is actually a $5 trillion opportunity market when we look at it from a macro perspective. This is a huge market which is growing. For context, recently in Nigeria, there was a cashless policy and redesigning of the Naira. This actually almost created a disaster because it actually revealed that the existing financial infrastructure cannot actually accommodate, the population if everybody goes from the normal cash, system to being cashless. But with the fintech, it showed that we are able to provide, a bridge for these people who have been financially excluded before. And apart from that, today, the MSMEs actually contribute to over 84% of the jobs across Nigeria and Africa. This also points to nothing but the fact that MSMEs needs to be supported. Because for us to be able to create the next 3 million jobs as projected by various people like PwC, Boston Consulting Group, we need to actually invest in supporting MSMEs to have financial services access.
And we talked a little bit earlier about how you were able to find a gap within the system and fill that gap, fill the need that is there. And so I find that a lot of the people here at the Africa Fintech Summit are doing something similar to you. Can you talk a little bit about who you've been able to connect with, any panels that you're excited to see, or any panels that you've been a part of?
Yeah, so thank you very much for that question. Specifically, I was part of the panel that talked about, how we can accelerate, the African free trade. And it's quite interesting to see various policymakers, talking about some of the key drivers that can help us. And much emphasis, again, was laid on the fact that these MSMEs, supporting them can actually help us to be able to increase our chances of fulfilling the goals of the African free trade. We cannot be talking about African free trade if we don't have the capacity today to fulfill even the national, demands that we have. We can only, bridge this gap when we are able to support these MSMEs, support farmers who are today contributing, to the agro product and commodities that we want to be able to exchange across the continent. If we're able to support them, if we're able to bridge the digital literacy gap, and if we're able to provide a platform which helps to democratize access to finance for these MSMEs. And I strongly believe that this is just, the stepping stone. If today, after we leave here, we're able to implement, some of the, outlines and strategies that we've discussed across the various panels, I strongly believe that next year we won't be talking about the same thing. We would actually be evaluating the results and the outcomes of implementing what we've discussed. And I strongly believe that some of the recordings of the panels should actually be reviewed and strategic alliance should be built from here so that we can come next year and see the impact that we've created across the continent.
Thank you. And I know this is your first time here at the summit, and it seems like you've already been able to connect with some people. What are some key takeaways from the summit so far?
Yeah, so some of the key takeaways is the fact that the U.S. government, is actively contributing, and also interested in supporting, the growth of Africa. It's not just all about talk; it's all about, the actions, and they are taking positive steps. The stakeholders also are now more aware. I'm also more aware of some of the initiatives that we can plug in supporting some of our, users, to be able to grow and also build more capacity, to create more jobs for the continent. So I find this quite interesting. I built quite significant relationships in both the government arm and also some of, the key ecosystem players such as venture firm investors, stakeholders, and also, build strategic alliance in terms of partnership, which we hope to, deliver as we go forward.
And lastly, for any aspiring investors, people who want to tap into the African market, do you have any words of advice for them?
So the Africa economy is ripe, is interesting. It has not peaked. The market is ripe for you to tap into, and there's no better time than you coming in today. Today is the best time for you to come and invest in not just people solving problems, but people making impact. And this is the work that we do, and this is the work that most entrepreneurs and founders who are here today are actually driving on the continent. It's not about just trying to, create a problem that does not exist. It's about solving problems that can have effects over the next 30, 50 years. It's about solving problems that can help us to be able to secure the continent and also have people get out of poverty. So I strongly believe that you can make money, make good returns, and also make an impact. So come and let's build together.
Thanks so much, Adeshina from Lenda. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.